The Wildcardz are a rising professional music production duo made up of Sadie Currey and Ester. They have co-written songs with K-pop stars EXO and NCT 127, collaborated with UK artist Ray, as well as US-based Nikki Flores and Blau. The Wildcardz have worked on various movie soundtracks, including Universal Pictures' Pitch Perfect 2 and Sing 2, and 20th Century Fox Bad Times at the El Royale. So we sat down with these talented ladies to talk about their favorite plugins and how they use them in their projects. Act out the expression that people give you when you tell them that you produce music for a living.
How do you make money?
Yeah.
How do you make a living?
Do you make any money doing that? Like, oftentimes you don't just start out making money and having clients. It's like that slow client by client progress. And so yeah, it's tough because it's not instantaneous, but it's possible.
So here's a question for Ester, because you were recently on tour with Jaden and Willow Smith.
I really have to say Will Smith did a good job in raising up Willow and Jaden, because they were so respectful and like really just good people. It's all about the vibe, you know, like she said, if I don't vibe with that person, then I don't want to, you know, like it's hard to be in a bus for a month with like 12 people or more than that.
Yeah, you become a family. At that point, you're a family, right?
You really become a family. Like seriously, you can't hide anything. Being a musician and touring musician is that you have to have a good character. You have to be really easy to get along. Don't be a diva. Like just whatever happens, like adjust yourself.
What kind of challenges have you experienced as a team of two women in this industry?
Like what I realized looking around is there's less of a community. We're still like in the early stages of establishing that. But I think it's, you know, something that's not a negative. It's just what it is. Like that's just a part of the early stages of being a female producer. And it's actually the best time to be like a female producer right now, because things are way better than they ever were like in the past. With COVID and everything, a lot of female songwriters that we work with, like they've started recording themselves and, you know, they've started producing and like, you know, finding loops or like playing guitar and recording themselves. And so they're finding their way into production. And I think it's only a matter of time before, you know, there will be more and more top level female producers.
You never let me down.
How do you get the best out of a performer in the studio?
I think you have to be a cheerleader, whoever is in the room, be really excited, but not faking, but really like, you know, cheer the person up, like in aspects that they need, you know? I think then the magic happens naturally.
You have to really connect with this artist and make them feel comfortable and learn how to be a coach and help coach them past their insecurities and get the best out of them. And that's like really demanding.
That connection part requires a little bit of psychology, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned so much psychology. I'm like, man, I should have just gotten a psych degree.
We've seen an explosion recently in the world with K-pop. And you've had the privilege of working with EXO and NCT, right?
How that all started was Ester came up with a cool little like chord riff. And then we like wrote just like a basic demo track out. And then there was this other production writing team called the Wavies that we collaborated with. So we sent them the track. Then it was just like cross collaboration. We were sending stems back and forth and producing the track out, and then sent it to our publisher, and they sent it off to SM Entertainment, and SM was like, oh, this is great, we want to use it.
Thousands and thousands of fans, like, you know, in the arena singing to our song that we wrote. I mean, I would say you really get the chills, you know, just by watching. It's like, wow, that's amazing.
What has your experience been with the Overloud jumps?
It has been really cool. I mean, I've loved using the plugins. I think my favorite one was Comp LA. What I love is the saturation knob and the harmonic distortion. So that has like made a huge difference in my vocal chain. Like I love it on vocals. I'm always putting some kind of a saturator, so to have that compression and the saturation combined, it's a nice sound, especially for my pop vocal chain. We also use the dopamine plugin just on the vocal chain itself. Like I'll use it on my group tracks just to add like a little bit more sparkle. I've used it on like my vocal chain, all the leads together in one buzz. I like it on synths as well. For me, it's just like adding a nice bit of sparkle and compression if you want a little bit of extra punch.
She's an original.
We would love to show you one of the projects that we've been using those plugins in. Here's a session that I have open, and this song is called Original. It was written by Carly Page. So one of my favorite things about producing is the vocal production. I love the Gem Comp plugin, especially on pop vocals. The thing that I love about this plugin is the harmonic distortion that you can add. Here's with the compression.
Oh, now you're running and wanting it back. I guess you finally realized
And without.
she's everything that you wanted to have. The thing you'll chase for the rest of your life. 'Cause now she's outliving life on the moon. No way you're reaching her now.
So it's, it's adding some volume, but you hear the fatness and you hear a little bit of that crispiness with the harmonic distortion. I just really love that in this, and it's made all the difference in this vocal. I love the fact that you can do mid-side, especially with these doubles. I'm trying to get them like super compressed on the sides. I don't really mind so much about the mid, so I think I just have that like solo it.
Oh, now you're running and wanting
So that's just the mid.
Guess
Okay.
you finally realized.
And then the
She's everything.
sides.
Oh, now you're running and wanting it back. Guess you finally realized. She's everything that you wanted to have.
So I love that. Dopamine. I love this plugin so much. For me, I really like to use it on my group channels. So here it is. I'll just take it off. This is on my vocal group.
Original, original, original. No, not your typical, typical, typical. She's an original, original, original. She's something lyrical, lyrical, lyrical. You thought you went and broke her heart.
So just loving that, like this frequency here, this wet knob, it's just adding that little bit of sparkle. So if I take out the dry, it's like this.
Original, original, original. No, not your typical, typical, typical.
So I like to have the dry usually all the way up and just kind of bring that in.
Are there any misconceptions that you may have had in the beginning that have been all cleared up now?
If you're trying to make a living at this, there's another hat that you have to wear, or a little bit of a different mindset that you have to have about monetizing your art. And it's not easy. Like, I think it's like kind of a fight between two characters that you have to be. Like, the creative person, creativity is so interesting because it's chaotic and mysterious and it doesn't want to be labeled. But then, like, if you're going to sell it, you have to like put it into a box. You have to do things that maybe you wouldn't necessarily want to do creatively.
I didn't know that you really have to have a good team of people around you, you know? Like, of course you have to be talented, of course you have to have a taste. But then I think that really, to make it home run and like really take it, as I said, to the next level, you have to have good people.
Yeah, that's so true.
You know, a good team behind you. I think that's what it is.
You're very talented, ladies. I've listened to your work. Congratulations on the success so far. I wish you all the success in the world and hope you do well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.